Live for Fighting on the Huddle Up podcast feed. It is me, Mike Bernier, as Big Jim likes to call me. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, thumbs up. If you think we're doing a great job, hit us with the old 5-star over there on the Apple Podcast. Happy to still be a part of the Huddle Up family. Episode number 3 of the 5 for Fighting podcast, your hockey podcast for the Huddle Up feed. We got a good one for you guys today. Before we begin, got my reverse retro Capitals jersey today. 2 thumbs up. It's a thing of beauty. If you haven't already, I do have a picture up on my Instagram, Mike Bernier _. You can find it there. It's a beaut in person. The stitching is elegant. I can't say enough happy things about it. Also, I will say, and I'm going to get to the Florida Panthers in a little bit, was at FLA Live Arena last night for that game. The Panthers retro with the light blue doesn't look as bad in person as it does on computer, is what I'll say, because first time seeing it in person was last night. It's not as bad as I thought it was. We'll get to that more in a little bit. As for the 5 topics at hand for today's show, let's start with the first one, and that is the Boston Bruins. Talked about them a little bit last week about how they're a really kind of a shit organization. But I have to give credit where credit is due. 9-0 at home to start the 2022 season for the Bees. While they may be a scumbag organization to some, leaning that way myself, they win at home. They defeated Arizona, Florida, Anaheim, Minnesota, Dallas, Detroit, St. Louis, Calgary, and Vancouver to get to the 9-0 home mark. 14-2 overall. Not anyone better than them right now, aside from maybe the Vegas Golden Knights. But I think right now those are the 2 top teams in the National Hockey League. The Bruins are doing tremendous things offensively, defensively, the power play. All things Bruins on the ice is coming up gold. All things Bruins off the ice, not so much. That is topic number 2. The Boston Bruins have hired former Attorney General Loretta Lynch to conduct an independent review of their player vetting process after the Mitchell Miller fiasco, needless to say, or to say the least. They want to vet out how someone of what he did that goes so against their core values could go unnoticed. Maybe here's why. Because Cam Neely is worried about on ice and not off ice. Maybe he's just worried about, oh man, I've got to, have these guys go out there and be 14-2. It doesn't matter that the guy that I'm hiring to be a good defenseman is a certified scumbag. Hasn't even apologized for the things that he's done wrong. Maybe this is a GM and the general manager group and the assistant GM and the scouts and stuff like that. Because it's kind of hard to just, straight up whiff on the fact of the matter of this guy was a 4th-round draft pick that had his rights basically ripped out of his own hands because of what he did. The Arizona Coyotes were like, we don't even want you to go be, like, in development. Like, we don't even want you near us. Like, kick rocks. So for that to happen, that just doesn't go away. And it was fairly common knowledge that he did what he did. So you can sit here and claim it's a vetting problem all you want, but I just don't think the Boston Bruins cared until the backlash that they received. And here's the thing. I don't think they cared until they got the backlash from their own players about what happened. I think it was when guys like Patrice Bergeron came out and were like, yeah, no, this isn't what any of us want. We're not cool with this at all. I think once that happened, I think that's whenever the organization was kind of like, well, maybe we screwed up. You think? I think that might be the easiest thing in the world to say. You screwed up. You shouldn't have signed him. There was no good that was going to come out of it. Oh, wow, what's going to come out of it that's going to be good? That would be absolutely zero. There was no way that you were going to sit here and try to tell me that anything good was going to come out of this signing. It took Patrice Bergeron and Nick Foligno to basically be like, yeah, no, we're not cool with this. Or then it took Gary Bettman being like, yeah, he can't play in the National Hockey League, for you to literally be like, well, maybe we screwed up. You might be 9-0 at home. You might have the best record in the Eastern Conference. Your general manager is a moron. The Columbus Blue Jackets lost Patrick Laine for 3 to 4 weeks with a sprained ankle. Um, they cannot catch a break, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Laine's injury happened after a third period collision with teammate Cole Singler. They both stayed in the game. They said they were fine, but you could see that Laine was heavily limping after the game, leaving the arena. This is his second extended absence already on the year. He missed 6 games with an elbow injury suffered in the home opener and has only suited up in 8 games to date with 2 goals and 4 points. That's a big blow because he's a guy that gets that line going in Columbus. Unfortunately, without him, he joins the long list of Columbus players that are out, including Zach Werninski, who's out for the year with a shoulder injury, Adam Boomquist, Nick Blankenberg, Jakub Voracek, and Sean Curley. The Jackets currently sit at 4-9-1. It might be panic time for the Columbus Blue Jackets with all these injuries, especially now with the loss of Patrick Laine. They currently sit last in the Metropolitan Division with 11 points. I get it. Johnny Gaudreau, he's home. He feels like he's at home in Columbus. 13 points leading the team. He's all they have. 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 total points. They're averaging 2.8 goals for a game, giving up 4.33. It's not good. It's just not good for what they're doing right now. And I just don't think that there's a lot going on that's going to sit here and tell me that Columbus is moving in the right direction, especially with all these injuries. And the loss of Line A is going to hurt a lot for them moving forward. Now I have to talk to you about the Buffalo Sabres. My question here, and I guess the fourth take is, has the bottom dropped out for the Buffalo Sabres? We talked a couple weeks ago, myself and Jim, during the preseason over-under win point total, which you can find right here on the Huddle Up podcast feed. Ding! That Buffalo wasn't a team that we were sitting here saying, man, they're really going to set the world on fire this year. I get it. Started off 7-3. We're looking like they had found themselves, looking like they had found a pace to maybe make themselves an interesting team coming into the rest of the season. And then it looks like they went into the pits for a pit stop in NASCAR, and somebody basically forgot to put the lug nuts on. They're still ahead of pace from what their over-under total was, which was 82. Excuse me, it was 79. They're on pace to score 82 points this year. But God, have they faded over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. During this 7-game losing streak, they've lost to Carolina, the Lightning, Arizona, Vegas, Boston, Vancouver, and the Senators. They play on Saturday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. This team is not performing well. 7-3. They're now all the way down, second to last in the Atlantic. The only team worse than them right now is the 6-9-1 Ottawa Senators. Is this rock bottom for this year's Buffalo Sabres? I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say no because I believe that most sporting teams, you have fan groups that sit there and they say, oh, well, we have the curse of insert blank here. Red Sox fan here, curse of the Bambino. The Billy Goats curse in Chicago. Curse, 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 curse. Welcome to the curse of Jack Eichel. When they played back on, what day was it? November 10th, so last Thursday. Obviously, I haven't recorded a show since then. Let's talk about that game. Jack Eichel comes out, has 4 points, including a hat trick. It is returned to Buffalo. Wow. I think they really screwed up on that one. I think they did. And I really think they're going to just sit there and continuously just sit there and look at themselves and go, man, what did we do? Look, we had this once in a generational talent, and we just couldn't get it right by him. And we just couldn't do the right thing. We couldn't listen to him. We were just like, nope. And instead, you let him score 3 goals in the third period. Oh, and by the way, the Knights won by 3. So, is this rock bottom for the Buffalo Sabres? I don't think it is. I think that they still have a pretty big free fall ahead of them. Maybe not because of the schedule, just because I don't think that this team is as good as the first 10 games of the regular season have made them out to be. All right, fifth of my 5 points on today's show is the game from last night. The Florida Panthers took on the Washington Capitals from FLA Live Arena in beautiful Sunrise, Florida. Beautiful this time of year. Just the right temperature. Not too hot, not too cold. Get yourself into a hockey arena. Perfect. Chef's kiss. Love every minute of it. Game itself, and final score doesn't make it look as close as it was, but it was a good game. I'm not going to sit here and hold back any punches. I enjoyed the game. It was a good game. Unfortunately, the Capitals were not able to come away victorious. Their AHL team was not able to do enough to defeat the Florida Panthers. Friend of mine, not going to divulge his alter ego. Big Florida Panther fan. Really nice guy. Sent him a congratulatory tweet after the 5-2 Panther victory, and of course he has to mention the fact that the referees, there was a lot of penalty minutes for the Florida Panthers in this game. 12 compared to the 4 for the Washington Capitals. I responded with, congratulations on the win. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in February in DC. By then, thinking we're going to be a little bit different of a team. TJ Oshie should be back by then. Maybe we get a guy like Tom Wilson working his way back. I don't think Tommy will be back in February. Let's not be real here. That's an ACL injury. Probably won't see him for a while. Maybe Nicholas Backstrom will be skating. Maybe we get them back for the last game from DC, the last week in April 8th of the regular season. I just think that when I look at it from the standpoint of the game itself was good. Like I said, it was 1-0 after 1, 2-1 Panthers after 2. It was 3-2, with about 9 minutes left before 2 Carter Verhaeghe goals made it 5-2. So like I said, the score doesn't make this game look as close as it actually truly was. But my takeaway here, I sat in section 108, row 13. First off, FLA Live Arena. Anytime that you put big people in seats, you might want to give them a little extra leg room because your guys' seating was hot garbage. Like, just saying. I have a little weight to me. I'm short, but I'm kind of compact. So, definitely out on being squished like a fish in a seat. So, not fun. But the game itself was fun. But my one takeaway here, and my friend, really good guy, takes his hockey serious. I love it. I love having serious hockey fans down here in South Florida. It's not something that I see on a regular basis. But he's cordial, doesn't want to sit here and be, aggressive or, anything like that. He'll share his trash talk, wish you the best of luck, hope you guys lose, but that's what it is. There was one specific fan in the stadium last night. Actually, 2. The first one was a gentleman sitting about 9 rows in front of us, wearing an Aaron Ekblad jersey, that just decided to stand up for like 75% of the third period. All right, whatever. I get it. Big moment, you want to stand up, fine. Whatever. Hey, down in front, moron. some of us want to see the goal, but we can't because we have to stare at the back of your stupid ass head. Um, Second off, the same gentleman was the one that wanted to start the chant of screwing around with Darcy Kemper, you suck or whatever. Hey, by the way, Darcy Kemper defending Stanley Cup champion goaltender. Maybe you should be talking crap to the defense that, wasn't playing in front of him at all last night. Because without Darcy Kemper, the final score of this game is like 10-2. Like, let's be real. Darcy stood on his head and made some saves that pretty ridiculous. So, yeah, 10-2 if Darcy Kemper isn't in net. Let's be real. Not a fan of that. Second fan, I'm going to call him Douchebag McGee. Doucher McGee, after the Carter Verhaeghe goal at the 17-minute mark of the third period, proceeded to find a couple of fellow Washington Capitol fans and myself, decided to turn around and flip us off. Let's talk about this for a minute. I didn't say anything except for, whenever John Carlson scored to make it 3-2 at the 11:15 mark, cheering my team on. Guys in front of us, one of them was a Caps fan, one was a Devils fan. Guys sitting to the right of my wife were all Panthers fans. Not a negative word about any of those guys. All great guys. The two guys in front of us, when they were getting ready to go, hey, good luck, guys. Be safe. Whatever. Awesome, cool experience. Love, great interaction with hockey fans. But the guy that randomly turns around and flips us off because I'm not wearing a Panther jersey. Hey, bud. First off, you don't play for the organization, even though you think you do. Second off, when you win a Stanley Cup, then come talk to me. Until then, I live here. Just because I don't root for someone doesn't mean I'm just going to start turning around and flipping people off. Because here's the thing. You don't know me, I don't know you. Last time I checked, I thought we wanted more hockey fans. I thought we wanted to be inclusive to more hockey fans. Because that's not how you get people to come back to games. And of course, I sat in my seat for a while. My wife was the one that had to tell me, don't say anything. Because if she wasn't there, I probably would have told him to shove it up his ass too. Because at the end of the day, that's just not shit that's necessary. There's nothing productive that's going to come out of turning around and giving a random person the bird, basically telling them to go fuck themselves because they're in your arena. Didn't see your name on the side of it. God forbid, sir, let me leave now. It's a joke. Like I said, the guy that I'm friends with, huge hockey guy, but he's a cordial guy. Hey, I hope your team loses tonight. It's not like, hey, I hope you shit yourself. Like, it's not shit like that. So, I don't know. Just weird things rub me the wrong way. Just because I'm not wearing a Florida Panther t-shirt doesn't mean that I don't like the Florida Panthers. I think they're a good team. I think they're a good – the way that they've built that team, it's a way that teams that are struggling right now could model themselves after. It's going to suck for a year or two, but, we have a shot of building things the right way. Let's go for it. Absolutely. I think that's exactly what they've done. Great goaltending. The guys that they've kept in place, it's worked. The trade for Matthew Tkachuk that cost him Jonathan Huberdeau. I think it cost him Huberdeau. I don't remember. My brain's fried. It's really late on a Wednesday night while I'm doing this. I just don't see the positive in the situation. The guys sitting to the right of us, they were cool as shit. Even the kids behind us, there's probably 8 to 10 of them, with their like anywhere between the ages of probably like 5 to 14, 15 with their parents. Even them, go Panthers, trying to get Stanley's attention. One kid said Washington sucks. And, and his dad just kind of like saw that I was wearing Cap stuff and was just like, it's not. And I was like, no, 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 it's fine. This team is not good. He didn't hear me say that, but I literally, as the kid said, Washington sucks. I said, yeah, you ain't lying, because this team is not good right now, and I think that's because of injury. But it's stuff like that where parents are trying their best to teach their kids, proper hockey and proper. Here's the thing: when we all enter that arena, we're all fans of hockey. Like, you got to be a hockey fan to go to a hockey game. You're not just going to wake up one morning. You know what? I want to go spend $80 on fucking hockey tickets because it looks like figure skating. No, like what? No, you go because you like the sport. Um, I don't see the positives in belittling or antagonizing people just because they don't wear the same jersey that you do. Um, I don't even think I would do that to football fans. I don't even think I do that. Red Sox Yankees. Like, I'm not walking like into Fenway and being like, "Hey, Yankee fan, fuck you," and flipping you off because the Red Sox scored a run. Like, I might say that to my best friend Craig because that's my best friend. But you don't like random person you don't know just walking up and just giving them the bird like, "Hey, kick rocks." Like, wow, that's kind of brutal as fuck, dog. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm a weird guy. What do you want from me? All right, well, that's five for fighting for this week. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. You can follow me on Instagram at Mike Bernier _ or Fat Kid Certified SE. You can follow the Huddle Up podcast feed over at Huddle Up Pod. Always go over to the TeePublic store, tpublic.com/Huddle Up. Cool designs over there from the guys on the Tuesday live show. We got a couple of hockey ones up there, including the Huddle Up Pod blue and white, blue and yellow for the old NHL logo, as well as the Washington Capitals one. We'll have more designs coming up on that in the near future. I'm going to get Jim to do some more work on that. But until next week, I am Mike Bernier. I will see you guys on the ice. We'll be back for more hockey talk on next week's Five for Fighting. Until then, good luck, everybody. Enjoy the ice and enjoy your hockey.